Part 3. Dearest Jennifer, how are you? It's been so long. I hope you don't mind my dropping a line from time to time. Hilma gave me your address, but only if I promise not to embarrass her. She believes that my interest in you is, well, less than healthy. Obviously, my sister does not understand. The truth is, Jen, that I have been in love with you since the very first moment I laid eyes on you. Hilma, well, she doesn't believe in love at first sight, but that's her problem. These are the limits of her rigid life. There are a lot of things we do not share in common. But if it hadn't been for her friendship with you, we never would have been introduced, and so for that I am very grateful. You are the best thing that has ever happened to me. Though you may not share my feelings of tenderness now, I think that with time you will come to realize that our love affair was meant to be. I think about you all the time, dream about you. I'm doing exceedingly well up here, gainfully employed and sharing a house with the church lady in Oakley. I have some exciting news for us. In my last letter, I promised to buy you a Jaguar XKE if you agreed to my proposal of marriage. Having never heard back, I think that, well, perhaps I came on a little too strong. I apologize for being head over heels. Can't help myself. You know, one day we'll look back on this and laugh. Anyway, brace yourself. The latest development is that the old lady has written me into her last will and testament. Mildred is very well off and is going to be leaving me a small fortune. She turned 86 last month, and it's only a matter of time. Can you believe it? I'm so anxious I'm tempted to help her along. They call it euthanasia, and put her out of her misery, so to speak. She's got nothing to live for anyway. Except me, of course. I am the only reason she has to get out of bed in the morning. The old lady, she is delusional. Definitely has a screw loose. About the time I was being kicked out of the nest, my father, God rest his soul, gave me some sage advice. In his words, "It's a dog-eat-dog world out there, kid. You're smart. Use what's between your ears. Find a desperate situation you can exploit, Hank. And that is the only way you'll stand a chance." Well, this scheme would make Dad proud. I have managed to gain her trust completely. The paperwork has been signed and witnessed. Listen to this. The stupid cow actually believes that I'm interested in her, romantically. She is mad as a bloody March hare. Yeah, it hasn't exactly been a walk in the park, but the hard work is done. Now we're on Easy Street, and I did it all for you. That's the effect you've had on me. You are an inspiration, my love. You have awakened me, Jen, and now I am seeing things clearly, maybe for the first time in my whole life. The first thing I will do is take you around the world. Where would you like to go? Say Milan? Paris? I think you should be photographed in the City of Lights. You deserve to be treated like a princess. My princess. It won't be long now, sweetheart. I told you it was exciting news. Please write me when you have a moment. I yearn for you with all of my heart. Love, Henry. Henry sat patiently at the intersection. He didn't mind waiting for the long stoplight to change to green. He was in no hurry to return home. The windshield wipers needed replacing on Mildred's car. He listened to the classical music station on the radio. Ravel's Pavane for a Dead Princess gave him goosebumps. It was late afternoon, and the sky was lead gray with thunderclouds. He realized that he had left his umbrella in the grocery basket at the Trader Joe's parking lot. He would have to brave the downpour carrying groceries to the front door. It was a gully washer. When he arrived at the metal security gate, he was soaked to the bone. Setting down the paper bags, he inserted his key, but the lock would not turn. He jiggled the key without success. The rain pounded down. He rang the doorbell and huddled in the doorway. There was no answer. He rang again. Still no answer. Mildred must be napping, he assumed. Several minutes passed. It was getting dark. Then the light switched on in the entry hall, and the inside door behind the security gate opened a crack. She peered out the crack without a word. "Oh, hiya! The deadbolt must be rusted. My keys no longer work. Sorry if I disturbed you." He shivered from the wet clothes, noticing a change in her demeanor. For the first time he could remember, Mildred was without cheer. She watched him with one eye through the narrow opening. "I'm fixing your favorite tonight, pasta with red sauce. Say, is everything okay? I wonder if you'd mind opening the gate. It's cold and I'm wet. Are you feeling well?" She remained motionless, her one eye fixed on him. He thought the old bird resembled a humorless chicken. The rain splashed on the walkway. The door opened halfway, and he could see that she was clutching his letter to Jennifer in her left hand. It was backlit from the hall light, and he recognized his own handwriting. She was choked up with emotion as she held it up and read aloud.
"The old lady is delusional. She definitely has a screw loose. She's leaving me a small fortune. Your lovesick letter came back here today. It came addressed to me. It seems that your girlfriend thought she might share it. Thought that I might be interested in reading it too. Well, I'm glad she did. I don't fucking believe it."
Henry's heart stopped. His chest caved in. They stood in silence on either side of the gate for a long, long moment. She spoke deliberately with a cold control.
"I want you to put my keys through the mail slot now."
His hands were shaking. He deposited the keys and heard them drop on the inside. Mildred lost it suddenly. Her voice cracked with pain like some wounded animal.
"Well, the stupid cow doesn't want you around anymore. I am a human being, goddammit. Treating people like that. Shame on you. Despicable scum. Haven't you learned anything staying here? It's no wonder you're all alone in the world. To think I actually felt sorry for you. I took you into my home. I trusted you. Loved you. After my money? You make me sick. You know better, Hank."
Mildred began to weep.
"You have broken my heart. Get away from me. I never want to see your face again."
Her eyes burned into him. The door slammed shut. The light went out. Henry turned, stunned, and walked into the storm. The church smelled like a jail that afternoon. The hungry homeless men shuffled along in a long line which backed out the front doors and wrapped around the building. It was Thanksgiving Day, and the air was brisk. Henry had not eaten in 3 days, and the scent of ham hocks made his mouth water. He was weak with fatigue and felt the cold in his bones. As he made his way toward the serving counter, he noticed one of the volunteers had a certain twinkle in her eye. He approached the prune-faced senior with his paper plate and read her name tag to himself. She ladled out the pork and beans with a warm smile. "Happy Thanksgiving. God bless you, my son." He cleared his throat. "Thank you, Ruth. Happy Thanksgiving. It is very kind of you to be here today. My name is Henry.